Welcome to Crane Kick, and here I'm going to go over what I can only theorize and speculate regarding what will likely happen in Cobra Kai Season 3. Also, spoilers for those who haven't seen the show up to this point, so you have been warned. First off, let's look at Johnny Lawrence. His son Robbie, who was trained by Daniel, put Johnny's best student Miguel into the hospital in critical condition. Johnny's relationship with Carmen, Miguel's mother, is deteriorated, and he's lost his dojo to his disgraced sensei, John Kreese. But on the bright side, a girl from his past has reached out to him. My theory is Johnny will be so drunk and depressed that he'll be emotionally closed off and might actually consider losing hope of redeeming himself and be tempted to suicide, only for Daniel and Allie to appear and talk him out of it. As dark as this may seem, it really is the logical step since he feels he's never really been able to escape the darkness of his past. On to Daniel. Things are going bad for him because everyone sees him as the bad guy despite Cobra Kai's dark history. He tries to fight back, but realizes too late that he's only taught his rival's son how to hurt people and not forgive, as he still hasn't openly shown Johnny forgiveness and his own daughter has become no better. Daniel will no doubt go to Okinawa to figure out where he went wrong and confront Chozen. Chozen, despite his arrogance in his youth, will likely have learned from his failures and discovered dark secrets Mr. Miyagi never told Daniel about. I can see one of two things happening, or maybe both, possibly. One, Chozen reveals that Cobra Kai was once a style of Miyagi-Do, a more offensive style, but a member of the family favored it too much and was cast out for it. Being banished from Okinawa, they eventually arrived in Vietnam, where they, or a descendant of theirs, trained Kreese, the Miyagi-Do style that would later become known as Cobra Kai, revealing that Miyagi-Do and Cobra Kai truly are no different from each other. And two, in a nod to Batman Begins, Daniel inhales some form of incense that sends him on a trip inside his own mind. He stands in front of Kreese wearing a black Cobra Kai gi, being praised by Kreese for becoming his best student, baffling Daniel. Then, Johnny appears wearing a white Miyagi-Do gi, angering Daniel. It's revealed that this scenario is an alternate reality where Daniel joined Cobra Kai when he first entered the dojo in Karate Kid 1 and beat Johnny out of his own dojo, leading to him being found by Mr. Miyagi and confronting Daniel in the All Valley tournament. Daniel is about to viciously beat Johnny, but then stops as he realizes that even though he is Miyagi-Do, his actions lately have been that of his inner Cobra he tried to deny. He realizes that the only way to make peace is to apologize to and forgive Johnny. And now we move on to the next generation. What I think will happen is...
flipping the script.
Yes, thank you, Hawk. We've seen many kids be like Daniel and walk away from Cobra Kai to join Miyagi-Do, so I wouldn't be too surprised if Miguel ends up following suit should he recover. He feels Cobra Kai let him down, and maybe he sees Johnny ousted and thinks maybe Cobra Kai might not be the same anymore without him, especially when his friends there personally ousted Johnny. However, in order to balance things out, someone from Miyagi-Do needs to defect to Cobra Kai. Why, do you ask? Well, one of the things that made Karate Kid so great was in how Robert Mark came and used his own personal experiences in the story. The Karate Kid is a semi-autobiographical story based on the life of its screenwriter, Robert Mark Kamen. At age 17, after the 1964 New York World's Fair, Kamen was beaten up by a gang of bullies. He thus began to study martial arts in order to defend himself. Kamen was unhappy with his first teacher, who taught martial arts as a tool for violence and revenge. So he moved on to study Okinawan Goju-Ryu karate under a Japanese teacher who did not speak English but was himself a student of Chojun Miyagi. As a Hollywood screenwriter, Kamen was mentored by Frank Price, who told him that producer Jerry Weintraub had optioned a news article about the young child of a single mother who had earned a black belt to defend himself against the neighborhood bullies. Kamen then combined his own life story with the news article and used both to create the screenplay for The Karate Kid. With that said, the reason that many people like Daniel don't go to Cobra Kai is because, like Robert Mark Kamen, they feel it only teaches violence and revenge. But given that Robbie, a Miyagi-Do student, savagely kicked Miguel over a railing because he was losing Sam to him, someone at Miyagi-Do will likely lose faith in Daniel and his teachings, because they'll feel he personally taught Robbie to do that. I can safely say it won't be Dimitri, because Miyagi-Do taught him how to stand up for himself, and he thinks he's on the right side given how Hawk has been with him. My guess, it'll be one of two people. My first choice is Samantha LaRusso. Sam was raised the Miyagi-Do way, but she also developed her father's self-righteous attitude. She was dating Miguel, but never really felt she could introduce him to her dad because he disapproved of anything and anyone affiliated with Cobra Kai. But he approved of the stranger Robbie. When a misunderstanding between Sam and Miguel formed, it involved Robbie, and she got close to him because he had her dad's approval. But when Miguel proved he wasn't all bad by returning Mr. Miyagi's Medal of Honor, Robbie lied about it, and by the time he confessed, it was too late, as she already thanked Miguel with a kiss, resulting in Robbie injuring Miguel. So at this point, she'll likely feel her dad taught Robbie to do this and feel alienated by him. She'll think she's just a girl on the outside looking in on Cobra Kai, never really understanding them, and after losing faith in her dad, she'll defect in hopes that when Miguel awakens, she and him can be together. The only thing is that Tori will be an obstacle, but she'll think because she beat Tori once in a no-rules street fight, she can beat her again. The other, more likely possibility is Robbie. Robbie was a kid torn between his neglectful mother and an unwelcomed dad, becoming an even badder thug than Johnny was in his youth. When he had many chances to make peace with his dad, he slammed the door on all of them, and when he decided to give him one more chance, Johnny moved on with mentoring Miguel. Angered by this, he sucked up to Daniel just to stick it to his dad. When given the chance to rob Daniel, he backed out of it when Daniel showed him kindness. But this does not erase his dark past, as there are still people out there who remember him for who he once was. Robbie then grew close to Sam, and when learning Miguel was her boyfriend, he didn't hesitate to push him around while playing victim to gain sympathy from Sam. He then inserted himself into a tournament that he had no reason to compete in just to prove his dad was a loser, and even went so far as to insult Hawk, earning him a shoulder injury. When he fought Miguel, he tried to apologize, but by then it was too late, as the damage was done, as he had already humiliated Miguel and cost him Sam. He then disregards the whole karate is for defense only mantra, along with Daniel's talks about being forgiving, as during the fight with Miguel at the school, he savagely kicks him over the railing after Miguel apologized and let him go. On the run from the law over what he did, he'll likely try to seek out help. First, he'll go to Daniel, but he'll refuse to help as he not only betrayed him twice, once for not telling Daniel the truth about being Johnny's son, and the second time for bringing his daughter to Johnny's apartment when she got drunk while underage. But he disregarded the philosophy of Miyagi-Do and used Miyagi-Do karate to injure someone. Angry over Robbie's degeneracy, he'll likely send him away. Robbie will then go to his dad, hoping their tender moment at the end of Season 2 will earn him a second chance, but Johnny will likely be upset over him injuring his student over a girl, claiming that neither he nor Daniel ever stooped that low, and therefore feels he must side with Miguel over his son despite wanting to help him. On the streets and alone, Robbie is approached by Kreese, who offers him haven at Cobra Kai. Robbie will be reluctant, as he not only knows the stories about Kreese, but doesn't trust Cobra Kai. Robbie will then be caught and imprisoned. Desperate to get out, and with no one else to turn to, he calls Kreese to accept his offer. Kreese uses his friend Terry Silver's legal team to get him out, and upon arriving, Robbie won't be welcomed easily, as Hawk and his friends will use the training to hurt him like Silver did to Daniel in Karate Kid 3. But Kreese will insist that if he were a real fighter, he'd push himself past the pain and overcome the odds. Robbie does this and becomes an official member of Cobra Kai, earning Hawk's respect. And that is all I've got with my theories and speculations. There's no way of knowing whether or not any of this will happen in Season 3 or in possible later seasons of the show. But hey, if the creators of Cobra Kai see this and decide they want to implement it, I won't mind. All I ask for is name recognition for Jeffrey Turner for coming up with the idea. That's it. And with that said, be sure to crane kick the subscribe button and sweep the like.